Hello everyone, Josh here, Gotcha Legends, bringing you another Infinite Magic Raid. And today we're going to be talking about a unit that no one has really discussed here so far, at least that from what I can tell. And he's actually a free-to-play epic, and he's very, very powerful. We're going to go over his kit and talk about why you should pick him up as soon as you can. So in the market, event store, you'll notice there's a unit in this game called Ruin. And don't let him ruin your day by not picking him up when you can. 24,000 event coins is going to be the cost. You can get him once per month. We have lots of events going on right now that give out event coins, and we're going to have more going forward, and they're going to be kind of on recycle, every single month, bi-weekly, weekly, whatever. There's going to be tons and tons of opportunities to get these event coins. I have a few more thousand coming my way when these current events end, so I'll be almost, I think, halfway or a little bit over halfway to being able to finally pick him up for the first time. I know some of the bigger spenders out there, the whales and stuff, they'll probably have him very, very soon. But yeah, you can get him one time per month, 100% worth saving up 24k for. We're gonna go over his kit. It's great. So let's go ahead and get in there. Now, he is a red mark unit, he's a defense type, and he is from the Sunset Sages faction. It's a protection, debuff, removal, control, and turn meter, all that wrapped into his kit, which is insane. And you're going to see just how much turn meter manipulation this guy can really do. It's actually crazy. So his HP is 8450 at base, which is solid. 845 defense at base, which is even more solid. Speed and attack obviously aren't going to be his big traits there, so don't expect too much from that. He's not even going to scale to attack anyways, so that doesn't even matter. But yeah, big base defense and HP, that's great. Now, let's go over his exclusive real quick. It'll kind of give us a little bit more context of how good his skills are going to be. So let's do that first. So at level 1, Ruin immediately pursues and attacks a control target one time whenever an ally successfully inflicts a control effect. So if you run him with a fellow ally that has any kind of control in their kit, like a stun, a freeze, a horrify, whatever, he's going to go in and get a free attack, which is very cool. His level 2 increases the defense reduction to 60%. He does have a defense break on his active skill and inflicts feebleness 2 instead of feebleness 1, which is also in his active skill. So he's also allowing himself and your entire team to do much more damage. Now, level 3, Fist Blast. When I first read this, I thought it said Fire Blast, and the first thing that came to my mind was Charizard. He's my homie from over there in the Pokemon days. So I'm glad I reread that again. It's definitely Fist Blast, but you know what? Fire Blast wouldn't be bad either. Increases the turn meter reduction by 10% and increases self-turn meter by 50% after casting it. So that's going to be on his ultimate, and his ultimate is going to allow him to do a lot of turn meter manipulation. It's also going to have a stun on it, and it's going to allow him the opportunity to take even more turns throughout the entirety of the fight because of him increasing his own turn meter by such a huge amount. Now, level 4 also steals 50% of the target's turn meter or all of the turn meter if the target's turn meter is below 50%. That is kind of crazy because that is also going to be on his active skill, his skill 2. Just more turn meter manipulation for this guy. This guy is going to be going a lot, especially if you run him with a unit like Space, for example. Ruin gains a shield by 10% of max HP for 2 turns for every 1 layer of debuff he successfully inflicts up to 3 shields at the same time, which means if you cap that off, he's going to have a 30% of max HP shield on himself, which means he's going to have even more survivability. Now, let's go into his skills. Skill 1, he's going to do 2 stages of 120% damage each to a single enemy with a 60% chance to steal 1 type of attribute buff from the target. There is also a 70% chance to inflict stun for 1 turn after successfully stealing a buff. That's, of course, if that 20% chance from skill ups is applied to both those percentages, which I'm assuming it should be. So, yeah, he's going to have the opportunity to not only steal attribute buffs, but also stun and do damage on top of that, all in a skill 1. Very good, very good. Now, this skill is amazing. He can have the opportunity to do a defense down 2 and a feebleness down 2, or a feebleness rather. So that would be an increase in 40% additional damage that the enemies will receive from himself and all your allies. And the defense down up to 60% is also massive. And those will both be at 90% chance on a 3-turn cooldown and also do 360% defense damage. He also can steal 50% of the target's turn meter or all of the turn meter if it's below 50%. I mean, that's all wrapped in a 3-turn cooldown active skill. That is a lot of value for not only him, but your other units as well, especially if you're running a lot of DPS. That's insane. Passive. The ally with the highest max HP grants ally protection to themselves at the beginning of each wave. Additionally, grants Ruin in this ally 30% effect resistance, which is massive. When you get to mid to end game, you're getting debuffed left and right. You're gonna start seeing like 2 stacks of debuffs on your own units because of how much there is in the game. While under the effect of ally protection, and they share 50% of the damage, which goes down to 42, I believe, 42% between the ally under the ally protection and himself. So that's massive, because if your highest max HP unit is like your main support or your main healer or whatever, even maybe one of your HP burning units, you know, the last thing you want is for them to be targeted by a lot of debuffs, especially control debuffs that keep them from doing whatever you need them to do. So that 30% effect resistance is going to be massive. Now his ultimate is also kind of crazy. So 200% defense damage to all enemies and reduces their turn meters by 40%. He picks up an extra 10% from his level 2 and level 4 from the skill ups, and he also gets another 10% from his exclusive level 3. 40% turn meter down is insane. And then he also gets a 35% chance to inflict stun as well for 1 turn on all of those enemies as well on a 4-turn cooldown, and he raises his own turn meter by 50%. This guy's got so much turn meter manipulation, I don't even know. This guy is crazy. He's a wizard. But yeah, so his name is Ruin. He looks really, really cool. He's going to be outputting some damage, but he's also going to be providing you a lot of additional damage for the rest of your team because of all of that stuff that's wrapped into his active skill. And he's going to be taking a lot of turns and making the enemies not take so much turns, because he's going to be reducing and increasing turn meter. And it's going to be insane. So he's going to be a lot of fun to play around with. I have a feeling he's going to be very disruptive in PvP, especially. I think PvP is going to be really a monster. But in other areas of content too, like boss fights and stuff, he's going to be pretty solid. Maybe not for the turn meter reduction and stun so much, but a lot of that stuff that's in his active skill could be very useful. Feebleness 2 and a defense down, plus being able to also steal attribute buffs on his turn 1. All those things can be very, very useful in pretty much all forms of content in the game. So that's gonna be nice. And that he's a red mark hero, he'll fit nicely on my team and maybe your team as well. So we'll have to see, but hope you guys all enjoy the breakdown. I just thought I'd kind of go over this guy, considering that we're starting to get into the point where now we're getting a lot of event coins. And I know some of you out there, your casual spenders or your big whales, you're probably gonna be getting very, very close, if not already able to get this guy, you know, within the next couple days or so. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of like, hey, this guy is worth it. If you got the coinage, you got the currency, go ahead and get this guy. Don't let ruin your day by not getting him. So that's going to be it for me today, guys, on our boy Ruin. Hope you all enjoyed the breakdown. As I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, take notifications, join me in the Discord in the description below. Don't forget to like today's video. Give our boy Gio, our little blue dragon mascot here on the channel, the much needed love. Get him nice and fat with all that love before winter. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.